We have a heavy-hitting matchup of the best two defensive teams in the Big South here today on ESPN+. UNC Asheville has dropped 5 of 6, but they have the lone win over Campbell this year in conference play, off to their best start in the Big South in 20 years. Thank you for joining us on ESPN+, alongside Wanda Watkins, Evan Budrovich with you. Asheville has struggled as of late, but they have the win over Campbell in their banks. What must they do to continue that success here today?
Well, it's really going to be important for Asheville to do a good job on Campbell's three-point perimeter shooting. They did an excellent job the first time around, holding them to their lowest three-point percentage that they faced in the conference thus far this year.
For UNC Asheville, Sonora Danook, the 4-year starter and captain, how can she push this team forward on the road?
Well, Danook is important to the Asheville program. She's a good rebounder. She is a good scorer, and it's going to be very, very important that she continue that in the game today. We know that she's scored in double digits 10 out of 12 conference games this year, and I know Coach Mock is counting on her strongly to continue that.
For Campbell, Kiana Spate, the best three-point shooter for the Camels. How can she get Campbell's offense rolling?
Spate has been vital to Campbell's success throughout the season by either coming in off the bench or starting and getting a starting role and giving them scoring punch from behind the arc. It's going to be essential to Campbell today that she continue to give them that punch from behind the three-point territory.
This game ever important in the conference standings. Campbell 3 games clear as we turn to the second 9 of conference play. And for Asheville, they need a big win to stay alive in that middle half of the league.
Well, every game is important, but when you look at Campbell sitting up at the top with a 3-game lead, today becomes even more important in solidifying that race and getting a little closer to having the probability of hosting that conference tournament.
So here we go, Campbell and UNC Asheville. The Bulldogs have won 6 of the last 7 meetings in this series, including earlier in conference play back on January the 4th. Brooke Jordan-Brown and Taya Bolden up for the tip as UNC Asheville starts with the basketball, a club with the Sunbelt Reynolds starting lineup led by their senior Nadiria Evans, top scorer at 15 a game. Sonora Danook, senior guard here, cuts in, and Svenja Nuremberg with an early turnover. This Campbell defense, the best in the Big South. And here's the Sunbelt Reynolds starting attack. Shai Tooley, her first start in 4 games for Campbell. As Taya Bolden right to work in the post and an early deuce.
Good power move inside by Bolden to show some dominance in the post early on for Campbell.
Campbell settled for 23 shots from downtown in their last matchup, only made 3 of them. And now the official is going to reset the shot clock early in this first minute. What have both these teams done well so far this year? Of course, Campbell with its strong defensive play, but how about the field goal and three-point defense? For Asheville, they love to hit the boards.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, they lead the league in offensive rebounding, and they're up there in all rebounding categories. Very, very powerful inside. Should be a good contest today.
Brooke Jordan-Brown, the best rebounder for Asheville, number 14 in the blue. As here's our lead official, Roy Jackson, trying to figure out a shot clock situation. And there we go, thumbs up, ready for play. Back 22 seconds to work with.
Campbell opening in a sticky man-to-man defense. Looks like they're switching off those screens there.
Nadiria Evans from the elbow, bounces it in.
Well, and the leading scorer for Asheville.
Nadiria Evans only shooting 33% in conference play, but when she's cooking, this offense is at a different level, Coach.
It really is. She's quite a player, quite a force for Asheville.
This is Luana Serrano, the point guard for Campbell, zipping it out to Barber. And now Haley Barber, the senior, trying to operate in the post. Bolden on a tough catch, draws the foul, but it's on the floor before the shot. And there's our first foul of the game on Brooke Jordan-Brown, the senior out of Greenville, South Carolina.
Well, I'm sure that with her being one of the top rebounders in the nation, I'm sure UNC Asheville's not going to want her to get in foul trouble today.
Top 10 in rebounding is Brooke Jordan-Brown. She averages 14 a game in the Big South, just incredible. Campbell, meanwhile, the best rebounding margin team in the league. So kind of back and forth early in these first 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
Serrano late in the clock, right to the window.
You know, with Asheville putting so much emphasis on the perimeter, I wouldn't be surprised to see Serrano get a lot of those drives to the basket today.
Luana Serrano in conference play, 10 points per night. This is a Campbell offense, 4 different players in league play, 8 or more points, a balanced scoring team for Ronnie Fisher.
Depth is a key element for Campbell. Up and down their bench.
This is Sonora Danook, the senior guard. 5 on the clock. Danook up with the right. It's a blocking foul and count it. Chance for a 3-point play for Sonora Danook.
Well, you heard Coach Mock talk about the emphasis of that young lady. We see here just her taking things on her shoulder, getting to the basket here, going up with force and drawing the foul and one. But she says she's a player's kind of player. The kids love her. They love her leadership. She's quite a vocal leader for this team.
Sonora Danook, who makes the free throw, just crossed the 1,000-point threshold, one of 20 players in Asheville history, and she reached that mark on Tuesday. That's the challenge of this Asheville team at 6-6. 3 senior starters, a group that's won 2 conference titles in the last 3 years, taking on the top dogs in Campbell, who've won 8 straight.
Well, and I think that's why Coach Mock is so patient with her team. She knows that they're veterans. They understand what it's like when you get down and how to get back up again.
Barber from the free throw line, and she's perfect.
Talk about a valuable asset to a ball club. Haley Barber's tremendous leader for Campbell University.
Barber's coming off her first career double-double, 16 points and 13 rebounds last Saturday. And we love the offense of these first 3 minutes. The top 2 defensive teams in the league lighten it up.
Put some numbers up early, huh?
Kind of a shock based on the first matchup. That was 60-52 in Asheville. Here's Brooke Jordan-Brown clearing space and laying it in.
You know, Brooke Jordan-Brown has really come along for Asheville. She's played behind some seasoned post players on their team, and it's made a difference in her play.
Brooke Jordan-Brown, a double-double in her last game, as Serrano nails the triple, top of the key.
Campbell showing their versatility now. They've got certainly more than 2 or 3 players that can score. They can go up and down that bench and find a scorer, somebody that will produce.
3 different players have already scored for Campbell in this first quarter. And we have an offensive foul on Brooke Jordan-Brown. That's her second. Early foul trouble for the senior center. Campbell would love to see that as Ronnie Fisher, his club, off to their best start in conference since you were the head coach, Wanda, in 2000. What makes this year's club so special?
Well, this is one of the most well-rounded teams, the deepest team that I've seen wear a Campbell uniform in quite some time. They're just, I think their depth is a key element for their team, being so productive and so successful thus far.
Shai Tooley for 3, and Campbell has a miss from downtown.
They're ready. The Camels look ready. Asheville looks ready. Could be a barn burner today.
Campbell made just 3 shots from long range here in their first matchup. They've been lights out in this first quarter. This is Nadiria Evans. Campbell switching everything. Evans cutting in, laying away, can't get the finish, and it's off the leg of Barber. Asheville basketball.
A lot of fight going on out there on the floor. A lot of physicality.
That's what Brenda Mock-Kirkpatrick told us coming into this game. She loves how these teams can match up, especially with years of playoff experience facing each other.
Both these teams, I think, epitomize the personality of their coaches, just fierce competitors.
There's a block for Tooley, an offensive rebound, and clearing it up is Ivana McGill off the bench.
Asheville sticking to that man-to-man defense right now.
UNC Asheville, they give up just 56 points per night. Campbell cooking here in the first as Barber is stripped. Evans knocks it loose and a turnover for Haley Barber. Coach Brenna Mock-Kirkpatrick, her 8th year running this Asheville program. Her team forces a turnover, and a coach who was the former coach of the year 3 years ago, and she loves this group.
Well, she's like Coach Fisher. They're fierce competitors. They're great friends, and both of them have had so much success in the Big South.
Danook with an air ball. Here's Barber out in front. The senior sprints into the lane and travels before the shot. Second straight turnover for Haley Barber.
Just got a little bit of ahead of herself that time, I think. Intentions were good. Right opportunity, just.
Barber, by the way, with a start today, now 10th all-time in career starts at Campbell, just past Ashley James on the all-time list.
She's the kind of player that Campbell wants on the floor.
They'd love to have her for a 5th year as possible. As now Zip Scott wants a clear out here at the wing. Nuremberg on the defensive assignment.
Huge mismatch with Scott and Nuremberg up top.
Evans with 2, launches with 1, way off, and that's a shot clock violation forced by this Campbell defense.
Yeah, Campbell prides himself on that defense, and it's showing up out there today.
We have a timeout on the court. Campbell up 3 here in the first quarter.
Hard work, a love for the game, is mandatory down here. Sacrifice, a desire to be great, lives down here.
Perez open 3, yes!
Excellence, the will to compete, persists down here.
For the win!
This is the Big South, where winners are made.
Geico makes it easy to get help when I need it. With licensed agents available 24/7, it's not just easy. It's having Jerome Bettis on your flag football team easy. Go get him, Bus!
Ooh. Come on, Bus. Come on. Hey, wait. I'm glad I got the flag. I got your flag. I'm glad I got your flag.
It's Geico Easy, with licensed agents available 24/7.
49-0.
One boy.
Discover the new language of travel.
Bonvoy.
Marriott Bonvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences. Rewards reimagined.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
Campbell has won 8 straight games thanks to their leading scorer in Shai Thule, coming off a career high 7 threes on the road, a big part of Campbell's overtime win.
It really was. I mean, and if you just watch her shoot it, she does it with so much ease, with so much grace, but she is talented.
You see the 23 points for Thule, a new career high. And Shai got the start today because Ronnie Fisher, he wants offense, and this Campbell team has not missed a shot from the field here in the first quarter.
Well, and I think Thule has done the things that earns her the opportunity to start, too, on the floor from a defensive standpoint. That's important to Coach Fisher, and he looks at those things on that truth chart.
We talked coming into this matchup, the 2 top defensive teams. Well, both clubs shooting over 50% early in this first quarter.
Interesting. Both teams shooting, you know, averaging in the 60s, low 60s, and no telling where this may go.
Luana Serrano with 12 on the clock, looks to create some offense. Lobs it into Hampton, tough catch, up against the contest, can't get the layup to go. And a nice defensive rebound for Jamisha Lawson, the sophomore.
I think Campbell's going to get those interior shots, and they're going to get drives because Asheville's putting so much pressure on the perimeter.
Serrano with the strip, that is last touched by the sophomore Luana Serrano. Sonora Danuk, what more can we say? The redshirt senior, over 1,000-point scorer, getting her master's in business here this spring. And a player who's won 2 conference titles. As this pass is out of bounds, a turnover.
No matter what anybody tells you, that kind of experience is valuable to a ball club. And Asheville has 2 or 3 of those players that know what that's like.
Haley Barber on the other side of the coin had her club reach the conference finals last year. She's played Asheville in the tournament 2 of the last 3 years, and the players wouldn't tell us this, but this game means a lot to both teams.
Oh, absolutely. In every sense of the word.
This is Brittany Staves, the freshman out of Raleigh, checking in, feeding off to Kiana Spate. Campbell's best three-point shooter, but she comes off the bench today. Barber from the wing. There's Campbell's second miss of the day. And now Zip Scott ahead of the pack.
Zip can zip, can't you? She can zip down that floor.
She did not score in her last game. The shooting woes have been mightily over. Last 10 from 3 is McGill, an air ball, and Barber there to clean it up. Neither team has scored in 2.5 minutes after a red-hot start here in Gore Arena. Hampton playing at the post. And now Serrano will settle it down. She's coming off a 6-assist night. Feeding it to Hampton and an air ball again. Here comes Sonora Danook. Asheville has struggled to score here in the last 3 minutes. An offense coming off a 3-point loss against Longwood on Tuesday. As Ivana McGill misses the layup. Cleaned up by Lawson, and that breaks her scoring drought. Asheville's back within 1.
Lawson came from the top of the perimeter to go in and get that rebound.
UNC Asheville's dropped 5 of their last 6. They started league play 5-1. Starting to see the better version of UNC Asheville here today.
It makes you hungry. Keeps you humble, makes you hungry.
Brenda Kirkpatrick in our conversation, she felt confident but also knew this game was very important for her club as Hampton through the lane comes up short and McGill gets it ahead to Danook.
Campbell running, Asheville running a little more than I anticipated.
And Danook called for the offensive foul. It's Barber taking the charge. That's the 5th straight game Haley Barber has drawn a charging foul.
Gotta love a kid like that. Gets her feet into position early, draws a charge.
I'm interested there, Coach, because Barber was moving.
Yeah.
What gives the ref confidence there to make that call?
I don't know. He was a little closer than you and I, so obviously he got a little better angle than we did on that one.
That's Roy Jackson on the call. Lead official today. This Campbell team draws more charges than any team in the league. And now Taya Bolden with a pump fake. Misses off the backboard.
Campbell's getting good shots that will fall for them. They need to continue to take.
Sonora Duluth, meanwhile, looks to get her offense going and a swish from the free throw line.
Just like that. You see that Asheville's back out on top.
First lead for the Bulldogs here today. As Danook up to 5 points.
Both teams shooting about 50% from the floor now.
This is a 6-0 run for Asheville. As Nuremberg works at the wing. No open space for these Campbell shooters late in this first quarter. Serrano had it poked loose. Looking for help. Bolden now with 5 seconds into a double team. Floats it in. And we have an injury timeout. That's Ivana McGill down on the floor, holding her left knee. And there was a lot of contact there with Bolden.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's knee or ankle. Ankle, I believe.
The athletic trainer, Justin Byland, helping her off the floor. And that's Ivana McGill, the last thing you want to see, the sophomore of Lowell, North Carolina. She'll get some help. And guess who? Sonora Danook right there to console her teammate.
Yep.
Ronnie Fisher's club, meanwhile, has not lost at home this season. 9-0 start in this building. And even today, they look like a team much more confident here in Gore Arena.
Yeah, they're playing with a lot of confidence. Both teams are just so well coached. Both teams have such a great rivalry and so much respect for each other.
This is Amira Korpening running the point, number 1 in the blue. Now Nadiria Evans right on an open lane and can't finish. That's Taya Bolden with the rebound and Spate the defensive assignment.
Good try by Evans to kind of worm her way around in there, but Campbell coming down with yet another defensive rebound.
Thule into Bolden.
Beautiful.
Easy lay-in.
Yeah, they got mixed up on that screen and both players went with the ball, which left Bolden wide open on the roll to the basket.
Bolden up to 6 points. She's Campbell's 3rd leading scorer all of a sudden. The redshirt junior out of Richmond.
Playing with a lot of enthusiasm today.
Now in the post, Sky Green, number 10 in blue, checks in for Asheville. Brooke Jordan-Brown has 2 fouls in this quarter and an easy lay-in for Jamisha Lawson.
Lawson's getting to the basket for Asheville.
Campbell can hold for the final shot here in this first quarter. They started the quarter 5 of 5 from the field. Serrano with 4. Off a pick. Lays it off for Nuremberg. 3 at the buzzer. And that is off as this back and forth first quarter comes to an end.
We see Asheville have screens. Both people going with the
We go to
ball.
break. Campbell up by 1. Campbell has won 8 straight games in conference play and now leading by 1 as we head into the second quarter. Huge part of that success is home cooking, as we call it. And Campbell 9-0 in this building. But coach, it's not just wins, it's been impressive wins in conference play.
It really has. I mean, very decisive wins and very impactful wins for the program. It's just a great environment, great support, wonderful pep band.
The last time Campbell had this many home wins in a row, you have to go back to the year 2000. That team won a Transatlantic Conference title, and of course the only title for Campbell in this modern 21st century. Yet on Alumni Day here in the Creek, some resounding feelings of confidence from this year's club.
Well, there's a lot of pride. They're playing for a lot of pride in this program today, and for the tradition of this program. It means a lot to these players.
Nadiri Evans with the kick ball. As Wanda Watkins, you were a 35-year coach of this program. You played at Campbell. You talk about that pride. How do you embrace that? How, as a player, do you recognize the players who've come before you?
Well, it's just so important to recognize that and know that you're a part of something much bigger than yourself.
A foul is drawn as Nani Carver drives to the basket. Carver coming off the bench, the redshirt sophomore. Because Campbell now has the target on its back at 10-1 in the league, in first place. Do players build on that confidence? Do they get a sense they're playing well?
Oh, I think so. I think so, but they also know they have to be at their best in order to stay there. There are enough seasoned players on this team and who know to listen well to their coach, and they know they have to be at their best, because with that target on their back, people are going to be coming at them, and they're going to be at their best every time they play.
With the offensive rebound. As Carver, she scored 5 points at Asheville on the road, comes in here in the second quarter. Bolden with the mismatch on the post with Evans. Lays it off for Barber. Her three is well short. Bolden trying to acrobatic save it, and that goes out of bounds.
Well, that created a good perimeter shot with 2 and 3 people tripping up on Bolden inside that time.
UNC Asheville, 50% shooting in this half. This is a club that does not attempt many threes. They're 10th in the league from long range. They work in the post. That's a miss off the front of the rim for Evans.
Unbelievable pass that got through that time.
Asheville may be 6-6 in the league, but they started 5-1. One of the better teams early on in conference play. Taking on the freight train of Campbell. They've won 10 of 11. Bolden underneath the basket. Can't get the friendly roll. Remember, Brooke Jordan-Brown, leading rebounder in the Big South, is in foul trouble. 2 early fouls in the first quarter. So Asheville leading on Sky Green, the sophomore, number 10 in blue.
There's the up screen by Asheville. There's the shot.
Green's demanding the ball in the post. Instead, working around the three-point line as the shot clock hits 7. Evans one-on-one with Barber. Evans, the crossover, lays it off. Here's a 3 for Lewis. That rattles out, and Tully the rebound.
Good job by Campbell that time of getting Asheville down in the shot clock.
Tully for open for 3. That is short. Nuremberg, a friendly bounce and an easy layup.
Campbell giving Asheville a little taste of their own offensive rebound that time.
UNC Asheville leads the Big South in offensive rebounding. Look at the numbers today. Campbell already 3 offensive boards. How do you feel about Ronnie Fisher bringing in Nani Carver defensively here in this second quarter? She's been matched with Corpening the whole second frame.
You know, he's got a wealth of engines over there that he can use at different points in time in any game.
Sky Green with the miss. An offensive rebound for Asheville, but the clock did not reset, and it's a shot clock violation.
Another good defensive effort by Campbell. That's 2 in a row, back to back.
And a timeout is called by Brenda Mock Kirkpatrick. Will take the break as well. Campbell up 4 midway through the second quarter on ESPN+.
Hard work, a love for the game, is mandatory down here. Sacrifice, a desire to be great, lives down here.
Perez open 3, yes!
Excellence, the will to compete, persists down here.
For the win!
This is the Big South, where winners are made.
Geico makes it easy to get help when I need it. With licensed agents available 24/7, it's not just easy. It's having Jerome Bettis on your flag football team easy. Go get him, Bus!
Ooh. Come on, Bus. Come on. Hey, wait. Man, I got the flag. I got your flag, man. I got your flag.
It's Geico Easy. With licensed agents available 24/7.
49-0.
One boy.
Discover the new language of travel.
Bon voy.
Marriott Bonvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences, rewards reimagined.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
Whether it's the practice field or weight room, in class or on game day, we compete down here. We put in work, day in and day out, to take a step forward towards degrees, championships. Our goals? Excellence on every level. 11 schools, more than 4,000 student athletes, one attitude. We are the Big South, where winners are made.
So the last time these teams met in Gore Arena, it came down to a buzzer beater. Taya Bolden on Play for K Day. This matchup is always competitive between Campbell and Asheville.
Always, always. I mean, for two programs that have so much talent and so much respect for each other, when you throw it up, I mean, they go after it.
Campbell leads the all-time series 39-14, but it's been Asheville. A lot of success. They've won 6 of the last 7 in this matchup. Same 5 for Campbell out of the timeout. Asheville brings back in Brooke Jordan-Brown, number 14 in the blue. Trying to slow down Taya Bolden, who has 6 points. Nearly double figures for Bolden with that finish.
Bolden is on a mission today. He's really being explosive inside.
So this Campbell club, the best defensive team in the Big South. You see Ronnie Fisher and his tie bouncing around this floor. Trying to slow down an Asheville club that averages 60 points per night. Sonora Danook one-on-one with Barber. Excellent help defense and a missed shot. There's Barber to clean it up.
Campbell's doing a good job of doubling up on those people when they start inside. It's creating some problems for Asheville in their offense.
Shai Tooley lays it off to Bolden. A little miscommunication, and it's off Taya Bolden with the turnover.
Really unselfish pass by Tooley that time. To be the scorer that she is, she's so unselfish.
Bolden, by the way, the best rebounder for Campbell, 3rd in the league, and she's out-rebounded and basically outplayed Brooke Jordan-Brown in this first half.
You know, Bolden is the 2nd leading offensive rebounder in the league, too.
This Campbell team has held opponents under 50 points night in and night out. You see those percentages. What makes this defense so dominant, including that scoring margin?
Well, I just think they play for each other. They're confident in each other. They're poised. They stick to their defensive plan, and that's why they're the 2nd-ranked defensive team in the country.
Campbell has given up under 50 points in 6 conference games. That's the best in the Big South.
It's a phenomenal statistic.
Here's Nadiria Evans, a tough jumper off the front of the rim, and Hampton there to clean it up. So UNC Asheville has now missed every shot in this second quarter. They're 0 for 5. Barber, meanwhile, launches a triple. That rattles out. And Brooke Jordan-Brown with her first rebound of the game. This is a player who averages 15 rebounds a game, and she only has 1. As Danook not slowing down off the window.
What a player. Nice explosive move to the basket.
Sonora Danook had 23 points when these teams met last year in this building. Nuremberg creates space but lays it off to Serrano. Let's see if Campbell can get something cooking on this possession. Barber backing down Evans, going to her left. That goes short. And Asheville with 2 straight stops. Sonora Danook right back to work, lays it off. This Asheville team does not shoot many 3-pointers. They only make 4 a game.
No.
They're going to work the ball inside. This is Brooke Jordan-Brown. Spins away, comes up strong. Danook the rebound. She is blocked by Hampton. And Campbell with the stop. Well, wait, there's a turnover. A steal by Scott. Laying it ahead to Evans. Back and forth we go.
Danook is such a physically strong-looking player.
Sonora Danook, the redshirt senior, in her final campaign. Good pump fake by Scott, but she traveled. And UNC Asheville with 6 turnovers. As now Campbell looks to get its offense going. They haven't scored in 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, she shuffled her feet just a little bit that time. Asheville being patient now, looking to get good shots, but it also seems like they're looking more towards Danook to take control of the game offensively.
Serrano has 5 points. Bolden with 8 for Campbell in this first half.
You think these coaches want to win? Look at that.
That's 2 coaches both out of their boxes and both getting their voices heard late in this first half. Shot clock down to 5. Barber around the pick. Tough floater. That is short. And Brooke Jordan-Brown with 4 rebounds in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, and we see a little difference in the defense by Asheville now.
Evans blowing past the defense, scoring the bucket, and forcing a timeout called by Ronnie Fisher. UNC Asheville coming to play defensively. And certainly if you're Coach Mock Kirkpatrick of Asheville, defense leading to offense in transition.
Yeah, I think that a great drive there by Evans, but I think we're also seeing the difference that Jordan-Brown is making for her team, the presence out on the floor, the rebounding power to get the ball for them to be able to get up and down the floor as well.
So UNC Asheville on the road in conference, they have a winning record. At home, they have a losing record in conference. And we asked Coach Mock Kirkpatrick, what's the case? And she was befuddled. She couldn't figure out why her team plays so much better on the road.
Yeah, it's interesting to note sometimes. Sometimes they just here we get a look at Jordan Brown and the impact that she makes for this team and in the conference with her rebounding. But I think sometimes when you're playing on the road, you're away from all the distractions, and she alluded to that. None of those are there. You're with each other. You're very focused on what's going on, and playing on the road can be a healthy thing for some teams.
And how has Brooke Jordan Brown coming back with the 2 fouls in the second quarter impacted her team?
Well, you know, and we saw Bolden take it right to her when she got back in the game, and she did a good job defending, but she gave up the bucket, but not enough to foul.
Now she's guarding Laura McNamara Clement, her first minutes for Campbell, 40 in the orange. Barber loses it off her foot, and it goes to Saranya. Lou, a long 2. That is strong. Rebound tipped off of Campbell, and it's Asheville basketball.
Both teams really playing sound defense out there on the floor.
This scoring drought for Campbell is nearly 4 minutes all of a sudden. And for an offense that made its first 5 shots from the field, they've been a bit slower here in the second quarter. Why so?
It's just a game of momentum. It's a game of runs, you know, and we're seeing that. It's very indicative of what's going on between the first and the second quarter today.
Evans glides through the lane, can't get the layup. Brooke Evans goes back up, and Brooke Jordan Brown to the free throw line.
Well, Jordan Brown looked like she was stepping up a ladder that time to go up and get that rebound. She got up so high to get that.
Brooke Jordan Brown, 10 games with double-figure rebounds this year, and that's just in conference play. A walking double-double, the senior out of Greenville, South Carolina.
You know, earlier in the season, she had 23 rebounds against Presbyterian.
That was a program record for UNC Asheville. And, of course, she's coming off a modest 13-rebound game on Tuesday. And we asked Coach Kirkpatrick about that rebounding, and it, like you said, really taking advantage of her first year as a starter and stepping up for this club.
That's what it's about. You know, you've got to earn your keep and learn from those that are ahead of you. That's the beauty of a team sport like this.
So much pressure by Scott on Nuremberg. Laying it off now to Faith Price, the freshman off the bench. Price to the window and breaks the 4-minute drought.
Yeah, good drive by Price. Asheville never did quite get across to cover that with their help defense from the backside.
Campbell has now gone 12 players deep into its bench. They got an option in Faith Price, the freshman, late in this quarter. Danook, the step through is blocked. And here comes Kiana Spade up in front. Campbell has led, but all for 1 minute of this first half. A team that's won 8 straight games and undefeated in this building. As Sonora Danook fouls Laura McNamara Clement. Just the second team foul for Asheville.
Officials really trying to tighten up the physicality inside on post play.
We've also seen Asheville go deep into its bench today. Sky Green has only played a handful of minutes in conference play, and even Jamisha Lawson, she played just 2 minutes on Tuesday. Getting a lot of experience in this first half.
Well, in a game like this, experience can be key. Working hard down the stretch as it's getting closer to tournament time.
McNamara Clement on the mismatch, off the window, and an over back foul on Lauren. That's her first. So Asheville gave up 16 points in the first quarter. Here in the second, they've held Campbell to 30% shooting.
Yeah, here we get a good look at just a little bit of a retaliation foul there. I missed that. I'm going to go back and try to get it.
Spate trying for a steal. That's last touched by the senior. Kiana Spate has been battling not a knee injury, but some knee soreness, and yet one of Campbell's most active defenders.
Yeah, getting up in the passing lane, making that pass, one pass away, hard, difficult.
Spate in that road loss at Asheville did not make a 3. She was 0 for 7, making her presence felt defensively tonight. Lawson wants the back door, goes up top to Evans. Evans blows by Spate. Green is blocked, but a foul. And that's Faith Price committing her first. There goes Sky Green to the free throw line.
That was a good look by Asheville as they took the baseline here. They just really did a nice job keeping her head up. Evans feeding the ball inside to Green that time. Beautiful pass.
Sky Green has now played in 13 games this year, recovering from a torn ACL last season as she makes the free throw.
God bless her. Those are tough things to come back from.
You see that right knee bandaged up. And the second free throw also true. And And now Asheville riding contributions from the bench today, back within one in these final 2 minutes.
Well, this game is...
And we have an offensive foul on the pick. That's Brittany Staves with an offensive foul. And now Asheville can shoot for the lead.
This game is everything we thought it could be. Both teams fighting hard, jockeying for position. It just, I think if you notice, Staves' feet were much wider than her shoulders, and she came out a little late to set that screen. Those two things, I think, get you on that foul call.
Now Green back in the post, working on McNamara Clement. She travels. This second quarter has been dead even, 7 points apiece. Yeah. And with the final 90 seconds coming up, be curious to see who jumps ahead here late in the half. Because remember, Campbell has not lost a conference game, 10-0 when leading at halftime. Their lone game trailing at UNC Asheville. As Price traveled on the shot, a turnover for Campbell.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's a shame that we shuffled Campbell shuffled their feet on that one, because I think both players came off to show, and we had some openings there. But
in terms of the halftime success, how is this Campbell team so good when leading at the half?
Well, it just boils down to mind over matter and confidence, you know. When you've won 8 in a row.
Owen Green lays it in. Asheville with the lead. And now the Bulldogs, their first lead since the opening minutes. UNC Asheville's dropped 5 of their last 6, but here they are on the road at the conference leaders in Campbell, giving Ronnie Fisher's club all he can handle. Clock down to 10 for Serrano. Finds the open shooter, and McNamara Clement finishes.
Again, we saw both players jump towards the ball, leaving that wide open.
Final 30 seconds, a 3-second difference on the clock. Mara Korpening running the point on this possession, giving it off to Evans. Asheville's been so patient in this first half, but struggling to shoot. 25% in the second quarter. There's a miss for Lawson. Staves the rebound, and seconds to work with. Brittany Staves driving in, setting up her post play. 1 second left. And losing track of time, the shot will not count as that ends the first half. Campbell up by 1 in a game with 8 lead changes here in the first half. It's halftime here in Gore Arena. Campbell up by 1 as they honor alumni here on Alumni Day in the Creek. Let's learn more about a Campbell senior in Haley Barber.
We have a group here on campus called Campbell's on Mission, and I met Caitlin Rogers through that, and she really just inspired me to go on this trip, and it was one of the best opportunities I've ever taken in my lifetime, and I definitely want to go back. In the mornings we would go to different villages and we did these things called health roadshows, and it was where we had like HIV testing, blood sugar, different things like that. But we weren't allowed to do that because of health reasons, so we did hand washing and prayer stations, and then in the afternoons we would go to villages and help out with the kids. The biggest takeaway I got was the people there were so joyful every single day, even though they had nothing, and it really just made me have a different perspective on life and just want to be joyful. In our conference, there's different seeded teams, like no matter what seed you are, anybody can win on any given day because the teams are all so close. So we knew that even though we were 6 seed, we had a chance to win it. It was just an awesome experience being able to get there. I wish we would have won it, but at the same time, just being able to have that momentum going from the first game all the way to the championship, it was pretty cool. My freshman year, we also reached the WBI, and we had a different circumstance where we lost the first game, but this time we just kept that momentum and we wanted to do better this year, so we ended up making it all the way to the semifinals, and it was just really cool to be able to experience a postseason win, and I think we made school history by doing that. I plan on getting my master's here at Campbell MBA in the spring, and then I kind of want to go into sports management or sports administration. My end goal is to be an athletic director, so obviously you got to work your way up to that position.
Campbell up 1 here at the break. 8 lead changes in an entertaining first half. The top 2 defensive teams in the league giving you a good battle so far in Gore Arena. So early on, Campbell couldn't miss a shot. Sonora Duduk had some trouble against this Campbell defense. And then Taya Bolden, coach, leading the squad with 8 points in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a really good basketball game. Both teams working hard. It's been a game of some runs, but we've seen some good things out of Campbell on the perimeter and inside. And
8 different players have scored for Campbell. You see Bolden drawing the charge there and Barber connecting on the jumper. Asheville, meanwhile, getting their offense going through the post.
Yeah, she's made quite a presence today, Jordan Brown for Asheville. Good perimeter scoring by Campbell.
Campbell has 2 threes in the half, and there they are back-to-back in a row. And then Asheville responding late in the first quarter with Sonora Duduk really heating up. 7 points for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, there we see Bolden going up again. Been a good inside-outside game. Good drive that time by Lawson.
Both teams have gone at least 10 players deep with their bench. And then late in the quarter, what a finish there by Sonora Duduk, the all-conference selection.
Yes, both she and Evans are quite a threat for Asheville out on the floor at all times.
And then Faith Price, her first points in 5 games, slipping it off the bench. And Sky Green, much the same, getting her first minutes in a couple of contests.
Beautiful pass that time inside to McNamara Clement from Lou out on the perimeter.
That was the final point of the half. And let's not forget, High Point at 8-4 in the league. Look at that score at halftime on the road at Upstate, up by over 20 points. Campbell goes to High Point on Tuesday. That should be the matchup of the top 2 teams in the league battling on Tuesday night.
Should be another barn burner as High Point, much like Campbell, another very hot team in the league right now.
When we come back from break, half number 2 here from Gore Arena. Some numbers of note from half number 1. UNC Asheville hasn't made a 3-pointer today. Campbell's only made 2, but they've gotten to the free throw line with some success, but Coach, the big matchup is the rebounding. Asheville 20 boards, Campbell with 12 in that first half.
Yeah, I think that's kept Asheville in this basketball game, and what's kept Campbell in the basketball game is they've shot a little bit better than UNC Asheville. They've made 2 on the perimeter. They've shot 44% from the floor. Those things equaling out each other, I think that's why this game's been so close.
You know what makes it a tight game like this? Only 5 assists in the first half. Every bucket's been hard to earn. And in the first quarter, it was 16-15. It's really slowed down. What has allowed both teams to shut it down defensively?
Well, I just think we're seeing a good exhibit of conference outstanding defense out on the floor by both these teams, and they make it hard for each other. They're familiar with each other, and they make it hard for each other to get what they utilize as their bread and butter out there on the floor.
That's the reason why we have a 1-point difference here at halftime. And in the conference, worth noting today, Longwood picked up a loss just a second ago, so they've dropped to 6-6, but at the top of the standings, you have those top 4. High Point most likely going to win today. How vital now is this next stretch of games with those top 4 starting to identify themselves?
Well, it really is. And then you look, and coming down this week, we've got High Point, then we've got Radford next, and Hampton's somewhere in there in between, not far away as well. So it's this race is heating up, and you know it's going to be interesting to see how it all turns out in the next few weeks.
Asheville and Campbell picked 3 and 4 in the league coming into the year. And here they are both in the top half of the standings today. This Campbell team led by 8 points from Taya Bolden. What are you expecting in this second half? Who's going to be able to make the adjustment to pull away in a game like this?
Well, we're just going to have to see what happens, but I look for Campbell to try to open it up out on the perimeter with their 3-point shooting, and for Asheville to try to take advantage inside with their offensive stick backs possibly. We'll have to see who makes a big step forward, but somebody's got to work to try to break away here quickly.
Brenda Mock-Patrick Brown told us coming into the week, these teams have a familiarity stronger than any 2 in the league. Ronnie Fisher circled this game on his calendar in the second half of conference play. How has that played out with both teams' competitiveness here tonight?
Well, you know, it's like I said, there are no well-kept secrets between these 2. They know each other really well. They're familiar with each other's game plan. They're going to work hard to try to take things away from each other and accentuate the positives for their program.
Here we go in the second half. Campbell this year has not lost a conference game when leading at halftime, and that's last touched by Serrano. So Asheville ball.
Campbell getting out in those passing lanes, making every pass for Asheville hard, difficult to make.
UNC Asheville, the best offensive rebounding team in the league. They're +8 on the boards. As Danook now on the switch, gets past Nuremberg, tough angle with the left, and she draws the foul.
I look for Asheville to go to Danook more and more now down the stretch.
Sonora Danook, 10 conference games in double figures, making plays like this.
Yeah, she's a factor to be reckoned with for UNC Asheville. Very strong and experienced player. She's got the know-how, the smarts, and the experience. Here we see her going up strong, drawing that foul.
Danook has drawn 4 fouls in this game as Nuremberg picks up her first. And now Asheville out in front. The lead changed 3 times in that first half. Bet that number might double here in this quarter alone. Barber looking to be aggressive, gets it off to Nuremberg. And this is a Campbell team at home that has not lost all season, facing some uncharted waters in this third quarter. Barber with the finish and a chance for a 3-point play.
Again, Barber getting to the basket, making it look easy, getting the and one. Notice the defense out on the perimeter, creating the open space for her to operate and get to the basket inside.
Haley Barber, 25 career games in double figures. That basket was just her first points of the night. As the friendly roll makes a 3-point play. And now the lead changes hands once again in this third quarter. So UNC Asheville in this run of 5 losses in 6 games. They've had the lead in every game this year, just haven't been able to finish. Giving it off to Danook, who's been red hot with 7 points. Wanting 9, and it rolls in.
True to form, you know, that's the leader right there on the floor for UNC Asheville.
The Asheville Bulldogs have won 3 of their last 4 away from Kimmel Arena. Ronnie Fisher's hometown of Asheville, a place he calls very fond. Barber right to work on Evans. Should be a double dribble and a traveling violation.
Good defense that time by Evans.
So Haley Barber just 2 points and 2 turnovers in this game. Uncharacteristic for the senior. Now Asheville wants to jump ahead a minute and a half into this second half. Saranya with the steal. Danook hustling back on defense to slow it down. Saranya left open at the top of the key, and that rattles out. Bolden the offensive board.
Bolden showing why she's true to form as the second leading offensive rebounder in the conference.
8 points and 4 boards for Bolden. She gets it right in the block. Lays it home. Double figures for Taya Bolden.
She's having quite a game for Campbell. Coming up big inside. And
tough catch. That's Brooke Jordan Brown spinning away with an air ball. Nice pressure there by Nuremberg.
You feel the momentum changing now.
Oh, and Saranya didn't see the pass coming. Barber can't believe it. And Campbell with its second turnover of this quarter.
It can easily happen. You just got to be careful going up and down the floor to always see the ball. You know, I used to preach that to my players. See the ball. I know Coach Fisher does as well. See the ball, always see the ball.
And let's not forget, Campbell has the best assist to turnover ratio in the league. They don't make many mistakes.
Yeah, just a little mental lapse. Just took her eye off the ball for 1 split second.
7 turnovers today for Campbell. Saranya gets a steal herself. And now Lou lays it off to Barber.
That's what you love as a coach, when you see a player come back and get it like that.
So 3 minutes into this third quarter, we've had 3 lead changes. Barber being aggressive, gets the layup and the foul on Danook.
Good takeaway, clear out for Barber that time. Getting to the basket and getting back for another and one.
So Haley Barber coming off a double-double performance. What does she do in league play? She can score, top 10 in rebounding, and those assists. That's 4th best in the league, an all-around player for Campbell.
And I'll tell you what, she's even more than that. She's miss clutch. She is miss clutch. When the heat's on, you want the ball in her hands. 6
points in this quarter now for Haley Barber, and Campbell's largest lead since the early minutes of the second quarter.
You can feel the momentum tip a little bit. It's going to be an important couple possessions now for Asheville to make sure the game doesn't get out of hand and they keep it in reach here.
It's been in Sonora Danook's hands today. 11 points for the Bulldogs, leading scorer. Danook lays it off to Lawson. Turns around, can't get the layup, but she's fouled by Bolden. And free throws coming up for Jamisha Lawson.
Free throws are going to be big in this game, as close as it is. But both teams are really doing a good job of getting good shots, going up strong in the paint, going with high percentage shots and making them count.
Worth noting with Asheville 8th in the league in free throw shooting this year. And Exhibit A right there as Lawson misses the first.
Going to be big down the stretch.
Yet the Bulldogs today, 6 of 8 from the line. They've shot much better, keeping them in this game. And Lawson 1 of 2. In the matchup in Asheville, the Bulldogs had turnover troubles. 20 turnovers in that game, yet they held Campbell to their worst 3-point shooting game. And today it seems like Ronnie Fisher has flipped the script with his offense.
Oh, yeah. But they're really doing a good job capitalizing inside. They are, you know, they're really activating the interior, get to the basket, pushing the ball inside of their bigs, and also getting to the basket off the drives.
Like this, Hampton working in the post, spinning on Green and laying it home.
You know, with Asheville, again, with Asheville putting so much pressure out on the perimeter, it creates those interior shots, and Campbell's capitalizing. Good call by Coach Fisher.
Campbell now made its last 3 buckets from the field, largest lead of the day. Now the defense kicks in, the top scoring D in the Big South. A lot of dribbling for Danook and a 3-second in the key as Sky Green wanted the ball, but a turnover.
They they go and come by their defense. Their defense motivates their offense. Here we see another forced turnover by Campbell.
Asheville now 10 giveaways in this game, and the red hot shooting popping onto your screen. Haley Barber red hot in the third. Already 8 points. Now it's Serrano's turn. Nuremberg late in the clock. Gets to the lane. Lefty finish is no good. Big rebound by Green, who lost her boot and threw it in the backcourt. How about this? 9 shoes on this possession. Evans says, I'll take care of business. Get the layup and a chance for a three-point play.
Boy, how many's that since halftime? 3-point plays, one right after the other.
Naderia Evans, 6 points, and maybe her best finish right here.
Pretty drive. Here we see her get past Nuremberg. The help is late, and she lays it up and draws the foul.
Naderia Evans led Asheville in scoring in their win against Campbell with 13 points. She's a spark plug for this offense despite some recent struggles. And with a make of that free throw, Evans is now second in the league in free throw attempts. Gets to the line a bunch. That's just her first free throw of the night.
Another upperclassman for Asheville that puts her foot down and says, hey guys, we got to keep ourselves in this thing.
Campbell undefeated in this building this year. Here's a turnover. Lawson with the strip. Zip Scott sprinting ahead. And now Asheville can tie it with a 3.
Evans is so quick.
Asheville's attempted 1 3-point shot tonight. Korpening is fouled on the jumper. And free throws coming up for Amira Korpening. She's the junior out of Morganton, North Carolina, and draws the foul here on Barber.
Yeah, she's coming off that ball screen. Must get a little tap there by Hampton on the arm.
Asheville's now gotten to the line 7 times in this second half. Korpening in the free throw woes a little bit concerning if you're UNC Asheville. Just 64% on the season.
They don't need to really make their free throws in a game like this.
1 of 2 for Amira Korpening. As for the first time in this game, Faith Adams, the freshman guard, checks in. She's out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Played 5 minutes in the loss at Longwood on Tuesday. And Brenna Mock-Kirkpatrick Brown going to her bench late in this third quarter.
She's giving some players some rest for down the stretch.
Serrano one-on-one. Throws it away. That's Danuk with the steal. Danuk ahead of the pack. Campbell retreats nicely. And now Asheville can reset. Serrano pokes it loose. Oh, and Spate was bumped hard on the noggin.
Oh, hit right in the head.
And unfortunate there as Spate got knocked in the head. We're going to take this media timeout in just a second as they keep an eye on Kiana Spate.
I think it was probably hard. I don't know that the official saw that from the position that he was in on the backside. I'm not sure about the other official, but the player was between him and the call apparently.
The officials are going to look over this call and see if there's any intentional foul situation here, a flagrant foul.
Did not look intentional from our angle.
They're going to check to see if there is a flagrant foul. The official came over to explain it to us. You see Kiana Spate, the senior, a little bit down in some pain.
Took a big hit to the head.
And especially when it's unexpected like that, it's hard to figure out.
Yeah.
But let's see, Coach, you be the judge. Was there any unnecessary contact there?
I didn't, from my angle, I didn't see anything flagrant at all. It looked like, I don't even know what hit her. Must have been her shoulder that hit her head. Let's see that again.
Yeah, kind of the knee or the hip.
Yeah, I still couldn't see it. Could you?
Sometimes it's not knowing when it's coming on a play like that. As Kiana Spate talking it over with Kelly Florio, the athletic trainer. And let's give Spate some credit here. Second on the team, or second in the league in three-point shooting. She has not scored a point tonight, but a hard-earned 9 minutes off the bench for Campbell.
Oh yeah, she's such a player for Campbell, and I hope that she's going to be okay. Yeah, you can see how productive she is. 35% from three-point territory. Made three-pointers of 25. 8 in the Presbyterian game for 24 points behind the arc.
We're going to take the timeout as well as Spate gets checked down by the training staff, and we go to break here inside Gore Arena.
Geico makes it easy to get help when I need it. With licensed agents available 24/7, it's not just easy. It's having Jerome Bettis on your flag football team easy. Go get him, Bus!
Ooh. Come on, Bus. Come on. Hey, wait. Man, I got the flag. I got your flag, man. I got your flag.
It's Geico Easy, with licensed agents available 24/7.
49-0.
One boy.
Discover the new language of travel.
Bonvoy.
Marriott Bonvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences, rewards reimagined.
Hard work, a love for the game, is mandatory down here. Sacrifice, a desire to be great, lives down here.
Perez open three, yes!
Excellence, the will to compete, persists down here.
It's for the win!
This is the Big South, where winners are made.
This Big South Conference broadcast is brought to you in part by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com today. Marriott, the official hotel partner of the Big South Conference. And Sunbelt Rentals. We have equipment for that.
Since we are halfway through the conference, we're seeing here some of the best performers across the league. Skylar Curran, nearly 18 a night, but Brooke Jordan-Brown, the best rebounder in the league, a huge piece for Asheville. And it begs the question, Coach Wanda Watkins, Campbell at 10-1, the best team in the league. Who's an all-conference type of player for a group that doesn't have many statistical leaders?
I'd hate to know I had to pick one or two off that team, because you probably could pick about 5 or 6, you know? I mean, they go so deep into that bench, and they're probably one of the hardest kinds of teams to play against, because if you focus on one, the other 4 or 5 will beat you to death.
Campbell and Asheville, 10 lead changes in this game. A matchup that Asheville won on the road on January 4th. Thule wants it in the post, and it's taken away by Zip Scott. Asheville's hanging tough. They trailed by 6 earlier in this quarter. And now coming back with a vengeance late in the third. Faith Adams, the freshman, just checked in. Sets up Scott for 3. That is off. Brooke Jordan-Brown with a rebound. Nothing new for her. 5 rebounds for the conference's leader.
She goes up to get him, too.
Now Adams trying to get something going for Asheville.
Asheville not getting a whole lot off that pick.
2 on the clock for Adams. Off her leg, and a turnover for UNC Asheville.
Good defense that time by Campbell.
How tough is that for a freshman to check in the third quarter and face a top-rated defense in Campbell?
Especially, you know, Barber, Saranya, they get after it out there.
Campbell has not scored in 2.5 minutes. Led by 6 a moment ago. Now searching for answers late in the third. Nuremberg calls her number, and an offensive foul on Svenya.
You could see that coming in slow-mo.
Brooke Jordan-Brown drawing the charge, and the scoring drought continues. Second foul on Nuremberg. So we've seen 4 charges drawn today between the two clubs. We've seen 10 lead changes. What stood out to you from this defensive battle so far?
Well, I just think the fact that we've seen the game have some different tides and some different turns and some different momentum pitches, but both teams stay at it.
And that is last touch by Barber. Ronnie Fisher barking he wanted an offensive foul on Evans that time. And instead, 13 seconds on the shot clock.
We'll get another look at that and see here. Yeah, hard to see from our angle. It's a nice, safe answer, isn't it?
Always leave it up to the officials. Wanda Watkins, the former 35-year coach in the Big South.
Picked her pivot foot up.
There's a traveling violation, so Asheville turns it over. Their 13th giveaway of this game.
If you're one step stop, you can't pick that foot up again until the ball goes on the floor. She's one step stopped and picked that foot up.
Brooke Jordan Brown playing with 3 fouls late in this third quarter.
Campbell being patient here.
Taya Bolden backing down, laying it in. 12 points for Bolden.
I don't know what they fed Bolden for pregame meal. Campbell needs to make sure she gets it every game the rest of the way, don't they?
Campbell back up 4. Bolden in double figures for the 6th time this year. Evans with a response from the free throw line. 9 points for Nadiria Evans.
Oh, she's solid too. Solid.
Back and forth we go late in this third quarter. These teams have met in 2 of the last 3 conference tournaments. So much familiarity. And Asheville with the lone win over Campbell in conference play as Nuremberg draws a foul. Svenja Nuremberg to the line when we come back.
Good fake by Nuremberg to get to the basket that time. Showing her versatility, to have good size and be able to get to the basket that way.
This Campbell team has also struggled from the free throw line this year. 10th in the conference from the charity stripe. They're only shooting 61%. Nuremberg 1 of 2 from the line. It's fascinating, 2 teams that are both winning records in the league are also the bottom 2 teams in free throw shooting.
Yeah, it really is. Well, Barber doing a good job on Sanook here.
Danook lays it in and a reaching foul on Taya Bolden. Asheville now in the bonus, so they'll go to the free throw line for the rest of the quarter.
You know what we said about those free throws? Important down the stretch.
So Laura McNamara Clement comes in for Bolden, who picks up her 4th foul. Still in this third quarter. And now Brooke Jordan Brown to the free throw line. She is a 60% shooter. Now a 1-point game. My apologies, 2-point game.
You were foreseeing the future there, Evan.
Well, there we go. 1-point difference. Under 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. Campbell's leading scorer, Taya Bolden, 12 points, but she's on the bench with 4 fouls. Thule around the pick has yet to shoot a shot tonight in this second half. Where's the scoring going to come from? It's Laura McNamara Clement in the post. Up with her left, rolls it in.
Campbell keep it 4 out on the perimeter, creating space for that post player inside to score and go to it.
In this third quarter, Campbell 6 of 8 shooting. Yet Asheville hanging around thanks to their defense. Danook into Lawson. Tough angle, and Lawson lays it in.
Wow, up over 2 with the left hand.
Jamisha Lawson coming off the bench with 7 points today, I should say. A huge presence for Coach Kirkpatrick's club. And that's saved by Brooke Jordan Brown. Here comes Danook the other way.
Campbell doing a good job keeping Danook in front, not letting her get by.
Lawson, one-on-one. She's been red hot in the quarter. Now Korpening with 6. in the post. Brooke Jordan-Brown is blocked, and out of bounds with 3 seconds left on the shot clock.
McNamara Clement is such a tough defender to be reckoned with inside for Campbell.
Now Corpening triggered in, a quick shot needed. Danook is stripped. Campbell read it perfectly.
Saranya comes up with so many big plays for Campbell, so many deflections, steals.
Campbell can hold for the final shot. And now tight defense from Tamia Lewis off the bench. Saranya with 8, gets to the lane, zips it up top. Thule for a 3, that is off. Rebound Scott, here's a heave by Evans, just strong. Nice look by Nadiria Evans as that ends the 3rd quarter. We go to the 4th, a 1-point ball game here in Bowie's Creek. Big battle coming up after this.
Y'all have to do that.
Since it is Alumni Day, it'd be worth noting we're here with the Hall of Fame coach Wanda Watkins, who cut down the nets 20 years ago, a Trans-Athletic Conference title. Members of your team and coaching staff were back here in Gore Arena. There's you, coach, off to the left. What's that moment like celebrating with this team?
Oh, such great gals. We had so much fun. It was a banner season in every way, but more importantly, they were great young women to work with.
A trip to the NCAA tournament in 2000. Campbell played Duke to open up the tournament action. Now 20 years later, this Campbell team in first place in the league, but in the battle right now at home against UNC Asheville, who's handed Campbell its lone loss in conference play. This UNC Asheville team battle tested as well. 2 tournament titles in 3 years under coach Mock Kirkpatrick. Thule with 7 on the clock, dancing around the key, laying it off to Barber, behind the back. Barber up with the right, and she draws the foul on Evans.
The ball in the hands of Miss Clutch again, making it happen for Campbell. Barber.
Miss Clutch is 2 free throws away from double figures for the 2nd straight game. We showed you the numbers earlier for Barber, but the best assist to turnover ratio for Campbell. And now with this free throw, 9 points, getting it done on all ends of the floor.
Absolutely. You know, the thing about her is just the competitive nature that she carries, the leadership that she exhibits out on the floor for Campbell is so invaluable.
Haley Barber, top 10 all-time in games played. A key cog that Ronnie Fisher will certainly miss next year, being a senior. Asheville starts 3 seniors in its lineup, led by Sonora Danook. A veteran group that's lost 5 of their last 6, yet playing some great basketball tonight. Danook wants the pick. Goes away from the screen as the shot clock hits 4. And a turnover a minute into this quarter.
Oh, tremendous defense by Campbell that time off that ball screen.
Campbell has now forced 15 turnovers, setting up Nuremberg. The triple is strong, and Danook clears it out. Asheville was daring Svenja to shoot. Now Barber in the grill of Danook, and a turnover.
That's Barber again.
Captain Clutch all over it defensively. How about that effort by Barber?
Absolutely. Just, you know, it's interesting to watch her down the stretch. And you see similar things when you see Danook for Asheville. Just something about their nature, their leadership out on the floor. Everybody else, it just breeds motivation for everyone.
So Barber, 10 points, now 2 steals, and setting up this Campbell offense early in the 4th quarter. Haven't called Thule's name much today. She has just 3 points. Danook guarding Nuremberg. Svenja beats her to the hole, and a 5-point lead for Campbell.
Let the freshman go.
Svenja Nuremberg has entered the starting lineup since the Asheville game, and her production has nearly doubled at 6 points a night. Now Brooke Jordan-Brown spinning and turning it over against McNamara Clement. This Campbell defense tightening up in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and it's really pumping up their offense. They're really getting opportunities off their defense. Defense leads to offense.
Campbell trying to avenge its lone loss in conference play. Barber up with the right and lays it in. A 6-0 run led by the senior Haley Barber.
Haley Barber show.
And now a timeout called by UNC Asheville. We'll take the break as well. Campbell trying to defend home turf, and they're cooking with a 6-0 run to start the 4th. Campbell on a 6-0 run to start this fourth quarter, led by its top scoring defense. And right now limiting UNC Asheville early in the fourth quarter. Campbell trying to move to 10-0 at home in this building. It'll be their best start since 2000. We honored that team earlier today. We talked about the alumni from that 99-2000 team. And Kiana Spate, we want to mention, bumped her head early in the third. She is back on the bench for Campbell. A nice piece to have for Ronnie Fisher.
Yeah, hopefully that young lady's going to be okay.
Korpening trying to get it in. Just finds Evans. Almost a 5-second call.
Campbell making every pass difficult.
Asheville in this fourth quarter, they're 0 of 5 from the field. Trying to get something going as Zip Scott sneaks into the lane. Her jumper is short, and Serrano clears it out. Ronnie Fisher told us coming into the week it was Campbell's worst performance in the road loss at Asheville. A sense of revenge possibly tonight. Led by Barber with 12 points. Tuli now off the pick herself. Gets to the elbow, nails the jumper.
Campbell really getting in their groove now.
This is an 8-0 run to start the fourth quarter. Asheville searching for answers on the road.
Campbell's defense has come up big.
Evans on the switch, creates space. Evans lays it in.
What a competitor she is.
11 points for Nadiria Evans, top scorer for Asheville tonight. And the Bulldogs break a scoreless drought to start this fourth quarter. Remember, this is the second time around the ring in conference play. Both these teams know each other so well. And it's Campbell so far making the adjustments in the fourth quarter. Serrano with 4 on the clock, trying to get to her spot. A floater comes up short, and Jordan Brown the rebound.
Seven-point game. Seems a little distant. I tell you, in a game like this.
And a foul called on Svenja Nuremberg, trying to slow down Danuk.
Anything can happen with two competitive teams like this.
That's her third foul. How about the move by Ronnie Fisher to put his freshman on Sonora Danuk, the two-time first-team all-conference player, and relatively speaking, done a pretty good job.
She's got good size, and she is very deceptive with her size. The things that she can do create some problems for her.
Danuk strong on the jumper, and Exhibit A right there from Nuremberg. There's a reason this Campbell defense ranks second in the country in scoring defense.
Coach Fisher's so methodical about the things that he does from a defensive standpoint. And
now looking to get to 50 points. Tuli for a triple, and Campbell is up 10.
Campbell showing their versatility down the stretch. Coming up big inside, coming up big outside.
9 different players have scored tonight, and Tuli with a 3 puts her up to 8. Now Evans with a response. Evans on the switch, draws the foul, gets to the line, and Ashlyn Hampton commits her third. Nadiria Evans, so tough to stop when she goes head first.
Such a competitor, so quick, and she looks so lean and athletic. And yet when she goes to the basket, she is so strong about her moves.
Nadiria Evans now 15 games in double figures this year. The junior out of Gainesville, Florida, but missing the free throw. Asheville's gotten to the line nearly double what Campbell has. Shooting 70% today, but that's been a typical struggle for the Bulldogs. And 0 of 2 is Evans. There's Nuremberg to clean it up. And got away with an extra pivot step there. Campbell will take it.
Yeah, that was a close one.
5 minutes to go. This is a barn burner here. 10-point difference. Campbell trying to move to 11-1 in league play. Faith Price, the freshman, off the bench. Gets it out to Nuremberg, the freshman. A lot of young net players. Here's the junior Hampton. Now got to create late in the clock. Price to the hole. Sneaks it in with the left hand.
To the freshman. How about the freshman?
Faith Price, 4 points off the bench. Largest lead for Campbell today. Campbell's defense has given up 2 points in this fourth quarter. Now Asheville needs a response. Brooke Jordan Brown working in the post.
Hampton doing a good job on her inside.
Evans, tough floater from 10, and it's in. Don't sleep on Nadiria Evans, 13 points.
She's steady as a clock. She is steady.
She averages 13 in conference play, hitting her number with some time to go. Great defensive possession by Asheville. Hampton now with 4 minutes to go. Banging bodies with a shot fake. Throws it up. And Campbell back up 12.
Beautiful up and under move that time by Hampton.
Final 4 minutes. Asheville trying to pick up a second win over Campbell. Evans to the cup, no good. Jordan Brown for the foul on the shot. That was away from the ball. It was Evans hacked after missing the shot. Let's see if they call that a shooting foul.
Should be after.
And we have immediate timeout. We'll take it on the court as well. 4 minutes to play. Asheville down 12. Try to come from behind when we come back on ESPN Plus. Haley Barber stepping up in the second half and finishing off this fourth precision play of the game. A beautiful finger roll by Barber.
I tell you, we call her Miss Clutch earlier in the broadcast. I'd say that's for sure. Look at her go. Get up, strong, get to the free throw line and knock it in the old-fashioned way for three.
12 points and 4 rebounds for Barber, coming off a double-double in her last performance. Now UNC Asheville, they've been outscored by 11 in this fourth quarter. Brooke Jordan Brown going on the 4 fouls of Bolden, can't make the layup. That's got to be tough defensively if you're Bolden playing with those 4 fouls.
Bolden being strong in there and being smart in there too, and yet not giving her a second chance getting the rebound.
Asheville came in the best rebounding team in the league. They're +9 today, but it's been a balanced Campbell scoring threat to match the rebounding of Asheville. Now Barber wants it herself. Bolden with 7 on the clock, spins in the lane. A floater falls out. Big board by Danook. Asheville needing points in a hurry.
One of a very few Bolden missed today.
Taya Bolden, 12 points to lead Campbell in scoring, and we have a kickball. Asheville basketball with 2:58 to go. So what's changed for Asheville in this fourth quarter? They scored with ease in the third, putting up 15. Only 4 here in the fourth.
I think Campbell's defense is up the ante. They've really made a difference and just got so much off their defense leading into their offense.
Shai Thule comes back in for Campbell. Faith Price a breather. And Evans the other way. Nails a tough jumper.
Cool, not to stop Evans though. She is very steady for Asheville.
Nadiria Evans up to 15 points. Leading scorer for either team today. Asheville knows how important this game is. They want to avoid a 6th loss in 7 games. And now it's Evans, the assignment on Barber. Haley right to the window. That is strong. And Evans gets the tip drill.
Key stop for Asheville that time.
Now Evans goes right at Barber. Beats her to the hole. Count it, and a chance for more.
I'll tell you, it's not over till it says 3 zeros atop up there. Both teams fighting hard down the stretch.
Nadiria Evans, 7 games in double figures. This is her best, 17 points. Trying to claw Asheville back in this fourth quarter. But misses the free throw. That's 4 missed free throws for Asheville. A foul is called on Danook. Trying to fight with Nuremberg for the basketball.
Asheville has a lot of fouls to give. I wouldn't be surprised to see them give a few fouls here.
And now Danook with 3 fouls goes to the bench.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Asheville give a few fouls here to get closer to the bonus in case they need to foul down the stretch.
They need 3 more fouls to get there as Serrano runs away and lays it off to Barber. It's like a game of tag. 2 minutes to go. Asheville 3 fouls from the bonus.
Campbell being really methodical here.
Thule with 12 on the clock. Drives to the baseline. Needing some help. Fades away. Can't get the bucket. And Brooke Brown the rebound.
Asheville may have numbers.
Here comes Evans sprinting in and draws the foul on Bolden. Taya Bolden is just fouled out.
Costly foul for Campbell.
Nadiria Evans is taking over this basketball game here in the second half. The junior out of Gainesville, Florida. You see the numbers in conference. Uber productive in terms of scoring. That's top 5 in the league. The rebounding is also big. But how about the shooting percentage? An all-around player for Asheville.
Yeah, and you know, I think her shooting percentage is as good as it is because she finds her way to the basket and she finds her way to the free throw line as well. I know she's wanting to make these productive this time.
How about this for Evans? The 2nd most free throws of any player in the conference. She gets to the line almost 8 times a game.
Just a little under a 70% free throw shooter.
And that's what's brought Asheville back on this run, holding Campbell scoreless the last 2 minutes, and now a 5-0 run for UNC Asheville.
Evans has been a productive factor in that run too.
Keep in mind, UNC Asheville's now missed 7 free throws. Here's a foul.
Not a bad foul for Asheville to make at this point.
That's Zip Scott trying to strip it loose from Nuremberg. Just the 3rd team foul, so 2 away from the bonus.
Yeah, I think they're trying to up the ante. That's not the one you want to foul there, but down in the backcourt,
still 1 away from the bonus.
Still okay.
So Asheville's been fully committed here to sending Campbell to the free throw line.
Well, I think they're being smart. They're trying to get close to the bonus so when they need to foul, they can foul late in the game. That's what I was saying a possession or so ago. I wouldn't be surprised to see them do this.
So now 1 more foul and Campbell is in the bonus with 1.5 minutes to play. This is a 5-0 Asheville run to get back into this ball game. The 2 top defensive teams in the league getting after it here in the fourth.
If you're Asheville, you don't want to have to take the time to make those fouls late in the game.
Serrano left open, missing the jumper. Lawson the rebound. That would have been a 2, by the way, and a big miss by Serrano.
Key possession for Asheville here.
This is Evans, busy in the fourth, fading away, no good. Rebound knocked around to Lawson. Floater is strong. And an over-the-back call on Evans. Campbell now to the free throw line. And it's Haley Barber trying to put this game away.
Well, as I was saying earlier, that's definitely not the one you want to foul when you get to the bonus.
So Nadiria Evans commits her second foul. Campbell has not scored in 3 minutes. And big free throws for Haley Barber coming up.
Barber about a 67% free throw shooter. But again, she's so clutch in these late game situations.
Makes her first. The lead is back up to 8 for Campbell. Largest lead of 12 with 4 minutes to go, and Asheville's been clawing back. 2 critical free throws by Barber and a timeout called. UNC Asheville to talk it over. Final minute of this fourth quarter, and it's Campbell's defense, the second-ranked scoring defense in the country, limiting Asheville in this fourth quarter and honoring today Gara Bell, who played under your staff in 2005 through 2009. Fortunately, she passed earlier this year, and a nice way to honor her legacy with her family in attendance today.
It's good to have the Bell family back in our house today. Both Gara and her sister Kara were great representatives who played for us here at Campbell. Gara, who fought a valiant fight, was a tremendous educator after she left here. She's one of the greatest leaders to ever wear an orange and black uniform at Campbell. Just a great joy to coach. Tremendous leader in education when she left us here. And our heart breaks for the Bell family, and it's so good to see them here.
And a nice way to honor Gara with a seat on the bench today, something she would love to see. Never played in this building because of years away, but a nice way to honor her. Zip Scott now late in the clock, launches a triple, another miss. 0 for 3 from downtown as UNC Asheville. Serrano ahead of the pack, is fouled on the pass. And with 46 seconds left, Campbell is free throws away for moving to 10-1 in 11-1 in fact in conference play.
Yep. Got to be a good feeling looking at the scoreboard now with 46 seconds and seeing Serrano on the free throw line.
Luana Serrano, she averages 9 points per game at home. Today she has 5 in a productive outing.
Great free throw shooter for Campbell.
This is a Campbell team that now has had 10 different players score, a balanced effort. Barber with 14, Bolden 12. You count in the 6 or 7 from Serrano, and it's tough to stop it if you're an opponent.
Yeah, just so many weapons. So many weapons. The depth is the greatest asset of this Campbell team, in my opinion.
Campbell 4 of its last 4 from the charity stripe, and the lead back to 11. Sonora Danook wanting to work quickly. Goes to the baseline, sets up Scott. Now Corpening up top. This defense not giving an inch. Evans sprints in. The floater's an air ball, and Danook cleans it up. Still a 9-point game with 32 seconds left. And Thule is fouled. How about the awareness here of Danook to save this tough shot?
Oh, yeah. Did you say shot or pass? I thought you said pass, Evan.
An assist? Maybe not. But Danook will take the points. She's got 11 now in this game. And Shai Thule to the line. She has just 8 points today, and yet with these 2 free throws could reach double figures. Well, just jinxed her. The broadcaster jinxed is alive and well.
I'm sure she's more pleased when she looks up at that scoreboard.
9 games double figures for Shai Thule this year. Coming off her career best of 23. Misses both, but Hampton gets the rebound.
That's a rarity.
And now more time ticking off the clock. Asheville electing not to foul as Campbell's about locked this one up, searching for a 9th straight win.
Asheville conceding here.
Haley Barber late in the clock, misses the layup, and now a chance for Evans. Final seconds in Gore Arena. Evans finishes off the layup. 7-point game. So Campbell avenges its lone loss in conference play. Defending home turf with a 9th straight victory. A wire-to-wire win for the Fighting Camels. Now 11-1 in the Big South. A 3-game cushion on their foes. And an impressive 7-point win over Asheville today.
Well, Coach Fisher's got to be pleased with the productivity of his team, particularly late in the game to take their biggest lead at the latest point in the game today. They played their cards right, and they came out well.
So Campbell with the win, 11-1 in conference play. Their best start in 20 years. UNC Asheville with the loss drops to 6-7 in league play. A balanced scoring night for the Camels and a dominant win here to wrap things up. Alongside the Hall of Fame coach, Wanda Watkins, Evan Budrovich signing off from Gore Arena. It's Campbell 59, UNC Asheville 52. Great defense by the Camels all night, and they get a win here in Gore Arena. See you next time on ESPN+.